Do you remember like 2019, 2020, when home skincare devices were coming on the scene? Everyone was obsessed, and we started collecting to where you ended up with something that looks like this? Or was that just me? I'm going to run through these speed run through these devices with you guys today to talk about what I tried, what didn't work, and the last three on the list are going to be the ones that actually made the cut over the last 5+ years. They're the ones that I feel like are making the biggest difference. And if you're new here, welcome to the Cher Effect. Hi, I'm Cher. I created this space as a way to sort of vlog my own habits and routines, things that I've been self-experimenting with for a long time now, a lot of skincare. I'm also a 20+ year practicing psychotherapist. I can't help it. It informs how I look at almost everything, including beauty, aesthetic. Let's lock in. We are no longer addressing our aesthetic for the gaze of the male gaze or otherwise. This is for me. When I look in the mirror, I want reflected back the strongest, most resiliently beautiful version of myself that I can create. And I think that that is created with our daily habits. So that's basically what I talk about here. Today, we're going to focus on these devices. A lot of them I'm going to speed through because they were basically a waste of money, and a few of them I even have a warning about. But I am going to land on the few that have stayed in my routine. If they were gone tomorrow, I'd replace them in a heartbeat. And of course, all I could do is talk from my own experience. But if that sounds interesting, let's hang out. Go ahead and grab something to drink, grab a snack, put me on the background, if you will, and let's go through these devices. And as a quick little preamble, I do want to mention that what I do for my skin, what I do for my body, does not include any plastic surgeries, Botox, fillers, injectables. What else is it? Oh, I don't use beauty filters. I'm not using AI to make my physiology look different. And I just say that because we're just occupying in social media, we're occupying a space where a lot of people are doing that. And so what I'm presenting here and for myself and to the world is, I guess, sort of my best version with a low level of intervention. And some of that is because I just really don't feel like those things are adding value to my overall quality of life. And, costs and some sort of philosophical reasons. It's sort of like if I start tinkering with this and that, what is that kind of messaging does my overall psyche receive from that? And, am I sending messages to myself that I'm really not enough and not beautiful enough and not good enough? So anyway, that's just a way of saying that any of these devices that I have used have just been in an effort to see, is there something I can do at home that can, smooth skin, create collagen, induction, that kind of thing. And there are some, but there are a lot that I just really didn't feel did anything. And one of them is, unfortunately, the NIRA. And I know this is a laser device, and I do know that there are people who really love the NIRA. It was at least 3 different occasions, different parts that I did a test to see if I could see any changes over time. And what I ended up feeling with the NIRA is worried that I was actually damaging my skin. It gets very hot. Um, I just didn't see any benefit, and I started to worry that, because was trying to use it under the eye area. That's one of the areas that's, a really focused target area for a lot of people with the NIRA. And I started to worry, maybe I'm melting fat because this thing is getting really hot. But overall, the thing that got me to basically put it in the closet is that I didn't see, even with dedicated every day. In fact, I think for one trial, I was doing it twice a day. I saw nothing, no improvement whatsoever. I wouldn't look at doing any at-home laser devices, with the exception of one that's kind of not really a laser. I'll show that to you at the end. And I would go in clinic and put that money towards, getting a laser and IPL. And then we have the area of microcurrent, basically a very low level electrical wave that can be applied to the skin. Same mechanism of action, sort of supercharging cells and getting things revved up so that we will produce more collagen and elastin. I think Myolyft perhaps talks a little bit about skin smoothing and skin tightening. I love this device. I'm going to keep it. I will still use it occasionally, but with, using the prongs and everything, this is like a professional electric facial at home. You really do have to train yourself. It's not hard, but you can't just do it while you're watching Netflix. It's a little bit more time and effort put into this device here. I think it's a really great device. One thing that's cool about the Myolyft is you can get the patches. And so there's a connection that you can connect this to and then passively use it, which is great because it sort of takes care of that extra attention that you have to be paying with the prongs. As far as a legit microcurrent device, absolutely top. So I do love microcurrent, and it is in my routine 2 to 4 times a week. But the way that I have found that I absolutely cannot put down is my ZIIP. So this is also a microcurrent. I think it has 2 different types of wavelengths in here. And what that's doing is basically exciting the cells, getting them revved up, getting your skin sort of awakened. Another thing this can kind of do is help with a little lymphatic drainage. It's lovely. So I use my ZIIP 2 to 4 times a week. I use it while I'm on my treadmill, so I'm walking and doing ZIIP at the same time. I love this device because I don't have to look in a mirror. I often use the Founder's Favorite is my absolute favorite. It's a nano current, so I don't have to worry. If I hold too long, it's fine. There's no zipping and zapping, any of that. It is super relaxing. 2 days in a row of the Founder's Favorite, which is like a 10-minute program. Sometimes I'll do it a couple of times. I see the difference in my skin. It just enlivens the skin. I think it brings circulation, that lymphatic drainage. I just think it's a nice little low-level cellular rejuvenator for our skin. Is it going to lift jowls? No, there's nothing we're going to do at home that's going to lift jowls, but I can use it on my neck. I mean, I absolutely love the ZIIP. This is one that if it were gone tomorrow, I would absolutely replace it. Then we have the whole radio frequency wave, right? The whole idea that the emittance of these radio frequencies into the skin, basically all of these devices work on the same mechanism of action, the same basic mechanism of action, which is to go into the skin and signal collagen and elastin synthesis, either by heat, either by radio frequency, by microcurrent, by micro injuries in the case of microneedling. So this is the tripolar RF device. It was very simple, very easy to use. I actually enjoyed it for its relaxing features. It gets warm. It's really nice. Never felt like it got too hot, and it also has a sensor that goes off. Bottom line is I have stopped using any kind of radio frequency treatment at home. I personally wouldn't even get radio frequency in clinic any longer. Professional estheticians and professional aesthetics people are changing their mind on. For the most part, you'll still see some people talking about it, but a lot of people are saying no Morpheus 8. No, let's stop that. That's not good stuff. It's just not worth risking. I would put the money into an in-office treatment like a Fraxel laser, an IPL, and ultimately I am not using radio frequency at all anymore. I haven't been for years. And I did talk about Oralift in my 6 weird life hacks video. It is one of my stay in the routine. I've been using this for probably close to 5 years now. It's a little mouth device which helps to position our jaw, and then therefore all this cranial sort of circulation, moving, of our posture in just the right way, and holding that for 30 to 60 minutes, a couple of days a week, a couple of months, and then you're off for months. It's a very specific cycle. You're not using this all the time. You're not sleeping in it. You're not wearing it during the day. It's these little sessions that you do with Oralift to help that position. I'm really a believer. I've seen a lot of people that it's done really well for, including Dr. Mohindra himself, who created the device. He's a dentist. What this is doing is keeping all the facial muscles and bone structure from sort of atrophying and turning in. And I just have thrown faith at getting that circulation and the posture correct is what we want to do for the face to keep that collapsing from happening. It makes sense to me. If we do that with our body, that helps. And so doing that with the facial bones and muscles makes the most sense. Yoga for the face. This one is staying forever. This one, we're going way back. Not this device itself. This is the Dr. Pen BioPen, which is my latest Dr. Pen. I got my first Dr. Pen, and I will say that with quotes because Lord only knows. This was like 2011, 2012 off of eBay. I don't even know where that thing came from. Hopefully it didn't do any harm. It really didn't. It seemed just fine. But that was the beginnings of my foray into microneedling. I think the tide has moved into professional aesthetic professionals really advocating for microneedling, not RF microneedling with the radio frequency, but just microneedling. Dr. Pen BioPen includes the red light and EMF. But the nice thing about it is I don't have to use those modes. I mean, the red light is kind of nice. I think it actually might keep things a little bit more sanitary. The EMF, I don't really care, but the reason I got this particular pen is I love the solid feel, the hand feel. The heads are really nice. This has been a really, really nice pen. And now, these days, I do make sure I have one authorized dealer that I go through to get my cartridges, my pens, because I do not want anyone who's not an authorized dealer of Dr. Pen. So I will link that down there for you. I do have a promo code. Microneedling, yes, it has stayed through the years. It will keep staying. And if you want to know everything sort of all put together in one 10-minute video that I've learned in my 10 plus years of doing my own microneedling, I will link that video below, but this is a solid, I will keep this one in my routine. Basically, that micro damage to the skin does call in all the healing cascade that we want to create more elastin, collagen formation, and it creates this beautiful, strong, healthy extracellular matrix that we want, that we desire, that helps our skin stay smoother and avoid as much wrinkling and as much laxity and all of those things that are wanting to come in. And where would I be without red light therapy? It is my longest standing hack, I think. I started doing red light therapy in the early 2010s when I had to go into a clinic and have it done. And of course, it's gotten so popularized over time. Here's the thing, and by the way, this is more than a red light therapy mask. This is the Jovs mask, and I was sent this a long time ago. Thank you, Jovs, for sending this to me. If this goes through its life cycle, by the way, I think all light devices have a life cycle. So when its life cycle ends, I will go and pay for this and get it again. This is a little bit more than a red LED light mask. This is a laser light mask. And according to Jovs, 4 times stronger than our red and near infrared light masks. And I love this. Yes, I use it for my face, but it has made all the difference in the world as my hair helmet. And I use it that way every other day. And what I love about this, honestly, more than the baseball cap design is, yes, I can put this on the top and then I can go ahead and lay on it. Those baseball caps, to me, the complaint I have about that design, although it's cute and very wearable, you know, people are definitely wearing them, you're missing the hairline, which most people are going to say is where they are, you know, worried about thinning, and you're missing the whole nape of the neck. It's huge. Like, those are very important. So I can put this on all of those areas, but I also use it for my face. It's really, really lovely. I feel extremely effective. And again, it's doing that mechanism of action where it's going in, exciting the cells, getting ATP revved up, and therefore collagen synthesis and elastin synthesis, and basically all the things that we want our skin. It's going to make our skin behave younger, and that's what we want. As far as LED, I use it every day of my life. Now, is that necessary? No, it's kind of part of my self-care routine. It's anti-anxiety. It's a bit of like a morning meditation. So I will use anything between a mask. Current Body has been a great long sustained mask. This is the neck and deck, but I can go ahead and really use this anywhere. Love this. Like I said, I think every light device has a life cycle, like a sort of number of hours that those lights can emit. So, I mean, we're going to run through a life cycle on these if we're devoted and using them a lot, as I definitely do. So I would repurchase a Current Body because it's been a very long standing. I've had some other masks that have gone out sort of quicker, and this one is 4 to 5 years and going. But my top dog, the big Mac Daddy, is that LED panel behind me, the MITO Red Light Panel. That's the 300 series, 300 Pro, something like that. So the combination of the red and near infrared, that's the invisible wave, are going in and penetrating deeper. The infrared actually goes several centimeters deep, so it can get into muscle, it can get into bone, it can help inflammatory issues. It certainly is great for the skin, but it's even deeper than skin deep. There's so many benefits: anti-anxiety, relaxation, anti-inflammatory. I would never want to be without the panel. Now, I've never upgraded to get a full length panel. I don't feel the need. This one serves my purpose. It was a great price point. And again, when it hits its life cycle, it's 5 years in running. When it hits its life cycle, I will go and purchase another one and use my own code. I'm going to put all my codes down there for you guys. So those last 3 are the ones that are still in my routine: Oralift, MicroNeedling, of course, my LED light therapy. The rest, you know, honestly, you can probably save yourself a lot by not feeling like no FOMO, you didn't miss anything. But I think our money is better spent saved up and going in clinic. However, I do think we can do microneedling at home if you're the type of person that would like to do microneedling at home. LED for sure, and Oralift is very easy to use. So those are some great at home, you know, treatments that we can do to stay our most beautiful and strong self. I love you guys. Say hi to me down in the comments, and I'm excited to see you in the next one. See you then. Bye.